Hey Redeemer students, it's Pastor Grant here. Welcome to our new RSM video Bible study series. As we were kind of thinking through this next school year and how everything looks, I know this last season of life from the end of last spring to the summer has been really different. It's been really unique, and I know for many of you guys it's been really challenging. I want you to just be encouraged. Nobody has walked through this season of life in the middle school and high school years in the ways that you've walked through these years. Nobody has experienced the pandemic in the way that you guys have experienced the pandemic, and everything has changed. And the same is true for the church. I know a lot of things have looked different even for student ministry. We haven't been able to meet face-to-face on Wednesday nights or Sundays like we usually do. And we've had a couple of other activities, but things are just different. And so with this year and the end of the year, there's so much going on in our world and in your life that I just thought it was really critical that we ask one key question here in this fall series. We want to ask, what is the role of the church? What is the role of the church in your life? What is the role of the church in our community? What is the role of the church in your school or our nation or world? And then maybe even to take it a step further, I think one of the other questions that we need to ask on top of that is, what is the aim of the church? What's the church looking towards? What's the church trying to reach? What are the goals that we have all of our energy set on? And these are really important questions, and something that I think the book of 1 Timothy in our Bibles addresses very well. And so this fall we're going to be looking in 1 Timothy, so go ahead and grab your Bibles. That's where we're going to be starting off this week. And as we're asking this question, what is the aim of the church? We're looking at this letter written by Paul. Paul's writing a letter to Timothy, a guy that he's discipled from a young age, probably around the same age as many of you guys were. And he writes this as sort of a central theme verse for this letter. 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5, he says, "The aim of our charge is love that issues from a pure heart, a good conscience, and a sincere faith." He says the aim of Paul in this letter, and by extension, the aim of the church needs to be love. And then he breaks that down into three categories: a pure heart, a good conscience, and a sincere faith. Those are the three things that we can check in on to see if the church is really aimed properly at love. And so as we're digging into these verses, as we're going verse by verse, we're going to break it down into just some shorter videos like this. And we'll start out looking at some context, and then we're really going to get into the body of this letter. What I want you to do is take some time this week and sit down and read all of 1 Timothy. It's only 6 chapters. In my Bible, it's about 4 pages. And here's what I would prefer for you to do, is to actually sit down and try and read this letter in one sitting. Read it as Timothy would read it from Paul. What he's doing is he's going to show us what the church looks like practically, who gets to lead, what kinds of things should we believe. And as he breaks down those things, I think it's going to be really revealing for all of us on what is the role of the church. And beyond that, what is the aim of the church? When you think about aim, what comes to mind? When you think about maybe a bow and arrow, or a golf shot, or a basketball shot. When you're taking aim, what are the things you have to think about? You need to think about where your feet are. You need to think about making sure you have a firm foundation so that everything else can be steady. You need to think about where your eyes are locked in on the target. You need to think about where all of your energy is going towards the target. This is the kinds of ways that I want us to think about the church. Where's our aim? Where's our focus? Where's our energy going. And I think as we dig into 1 Timothy, we're going to really get an idea that the church's aim is love.